episode of Osprey Observer TV. I'm your host, Johnny Torres. With me, as always, Marie Gilmore. And it's no secret that with this pandemic, especially during the lockdown, the four walls were starting to close in. Well, if you've been thinking about going for the great outdoors, we brought an expert along to join us for today's episode. Marie's got the interview. Let's check it out.
Today's guest is near and dear to my heart. Through this whole pandemic, a lot of families across the United States have started doing some outdoor activities, the biggest one of which is being RVing and camping. And today we've got Kevin Kemp, who's with Kemp Outside, who's a local resident, who's taken his love and his passion for camping with his family and turned it into a whole lifestyle brand. In fact, he's even got an episode now on a television show. So welcome, Kevin. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your Kemp Outside, about your family, about your background in camping that brought you to this point.
Yeah, so I've been camping my whole life. I love the outdoors, camping, hiking, fishing, exploring all across the United States and even into Canada a little bit. And I just love to get out there. And so when my wife and I adopted two boys out of foster care about 5 years ago, we wanted to incorporate them into that lifestyle and let them, see the world and see the natural world. And so that just got us going. And of course, we shared our adventures on social media. And I can't tell you how many times people would come to me and say, I wish I could do that, but I don't know how. And so I got the idea to just kind of create a YouTube channel showing people that it's not hard to do this, that this is something that they can do with very little experience. And there's a lot of help out there on the internet and elsewhere to get them started. And it kind of just took off from there, from just a YouTube channel to all of my social media. And now I have a website and all that stuff. And it's just kind of blown up and I'm having a blast.
Awesome. And how often do you go camping with your family, Kevin?
Well, it's as often as we can. So we camp a lot in the summertime and then we do any school holiday. So we're really tied to the school calendar. So anytime there's a 3 or 4 day weekend, we try to hit the road. And then, of course, spring break and fall break, we camp over Thanksgiving every year. We go somewhere and stay a week, and we cook Thanksgiving at the campsite, and we just have a blast.
Because of the pandemic, as Marie was saying, many families have taken to, again, almost getting reacquainted with the great outdoors. The national parks have seen record numbers, mostly because air travel just wasn't a smart idea or wasn't available. And so what do you find are some of the things that may seem obvious, right, to someone? I myself was in Boy Scouts and done my fair share of camping, but maybe for someone who's looking to do RVing or even tent camping, that we've kind of lost, some of these skills along the way. What are some of the kind of basic know-hows that you recommend right off the bat?
Yeah. So, I would say figure out how you want to camp. So there's a big difference between RVing or having a travel trailer versus tent camping and that kind of thing. I'm a tent camper myself. I've been tent camping my whole life. And as I get older, I kind of think, well, maybe one of these days I'm going to get up off the ground and I'm going to have a travel trailer and tow that around. But right now I'm still, camping in a tent. And so for me, that's sleeping bags and air mattresses and tents and traveling lights and that kind of thing. And so people need to figure out, kind of how they want to experience the outdoors, what works for them and their family, what fits into their budget as well, because a tent is a whole lot cheaper than a travel trailer. Or an RV, and kind of go from there and figure out what they want to do and what fits them.
Exactly. And I know because of your YouTube channel, your social media, your website, there's another opportunity that came up recently for you to have an episode on sort of a web series, right, with Mount Comfort RV. Tell us a little bit about that and how you got connected to that. I've been watching your tips and your shows and learning a lot. So,
yeah. So we recently camped at Turkey Run State Park in Indiana. It is one of my favorite state parks in Indiana. I went to school at Purdue, and my wife and I went on our first outdoor date in that park over 20 some years ago. And so we went back and took the kids and camped there. And I did all of my campground and campsite review videos and everything. And Mount Comfort RV found my YouTube channel from those review videos and called me up and said, hey, we're producing a TV show called Let's Go Campin'. Would you like to be a regular feature? So now I have 1 or 2 spots per episode for a 13 episode season that's airing in the Indianapolis market on over-the-air TV, or you can catch us on YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, that's
amazing.
phenomenal.
Congratulations. Yeah.
That's excellent, Kevin. That is so much fun. I wish I could say I was a roughing it tent camper, but when we started camping this year, we did get the RV and we kind of are the glampers. But there's a little bit of a different challenge to that as well, because just before our show, we were discussing we would love to go to one of your favorite sites that you reviewed, which was Fort DeSoto right here. It's one of the best campsites in probably the Southeast at least. And of course, in the next 6 months, I cannot capture an RV site, but the 10 sites were available. So there's a little bit of a privilege to that. So give me a tip on 1 or 2 of your local campgrounds that you really like to recommend. And what are your tips right now? Because a lot of people are RVing and camping again for getting in to those sites.
Yeah, so I would definitely recommend Fort DeSoto. You are right. It is one of the best camping destinations in the southeastern U.S. Coastal camping in Florida is my favorite by far. You know, being able to stay on the water, and we take our boat, and people take kayaks or stand-up paddle boards and get out there and fish or explore. So I highly recommend Fort DeSoto. The trick with Fort DeSoto is, especially in the cooler times of the year, you want to plan your trip 6 months in advance. And so 6 months to the day you want to be there, you need to be on the computer reserving your site because they get taken up so fast. Pinellas County residents get it, can book up to 7 months in advance. So they have a month advantage on the rest of us. And so you really need to get in there and grab that one. If you are looking for sites that are more interior to Florida, there are some fantastic state parks. Mayaca River State Park down just east of Sarasota is a fantastic park. And Highlands Hammock State Park is another fun one that has a boardwalk through the swamp and is a really neat place to explore. So I highly recommend those parks if you're looking for a more old Florida, interior Florida experience.
That's awesome, Kevin. Thank you. I'm writing those 2 down. Again, we're sort of a little bit new to camping. We made it to Hillsborough River State Park this summer. We made it to E.G. Simmons. Those are sort of the 2 most local ones we did. We also went to Gatlinburg for a week, and we had a great time. We're really already starting to plan our summer vacation this upcoming summer. And you're right, we're a little bit restricted by the school schedule right now because of kids in public schools, but there's so much to do locally that we can at least be weekend warriors right now and really enjoy it. So thank you so much for being with us today, Kevin. I know you have a lot more to share, and I'm going to stay on your YouTube videos and watch your web series and your episodes and really keep learning as much as I can about camping. I think it's a great lifestyle. It's a great culture, very supportive, and we're just having a great time with it. But tell us how everybody can see your shows and get in touch with you, Kevin.
Yeah, so probably the easiest way is to just go to my website. All of my videos are there. It's www.kempoutside.com. Or you can connect with us on all of our social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. And all the links to those are on my website as well. Or you can email me at info@kempoutside.com. If anybody has any questions, I'm always checking that email and trying to help folks get their kids outside and get themselves outside.
Awesome, Kevin. Well, happy camping to you and your family. And thank you so much for giving us the tips and insights today. We'll see you real soon.
Yep. Thanks. You too.